We have another massage scandal in the NFL, this time involving Justin Tucker. How many more masseuses are going to come forward, and how many more players are going to be exposed? This is getting a little out of handy. I may be going down a slippery slope, but what's next? NFL teams helping the Catholic Church brush touchy priests under the rug? Oh boy. Of course it's the Saints. Well, even in the worst case scenario, if the church were to swap diddying kids for postpartum abortions, it would still be a better trade than the Mavs giving away Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. The Mavericks must hate Luka, like Kendrick accepting the Grammy for Not Like Us and a Canadian tuxedo level of hate. He just closed on a $15 million house last week in Dallas, and they cost him over $100 million on his next contract extension. If I were Luka, I just want to be shot into space. Hell, send him up there with the Polish astronaut Sławomir Wisniewski, who will be taking Pierogis to space with him on his upcoming mission to the International Space Station. That's right, Pierogis in space. That's what I'm going to name the podcast after it takes off. Welcome to number 139, where I immediately go back on my word from last week and we dive straight into the NBA. Enjoy.
Live from Central Pennsylvania, with your host Ian DiCarlo, this is Hoagies and Pierogis.
The Ski Stash! The Ski Stash!
Welcome to the Big Ten.
Beezer's going drink, man. Let's go!
All right, before we start, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hoagies and Pierogis is available wherever you listen to podcasts, and I post clips on Instagram and TikTok throughout the week. Thank you. If you do subscribe, you would know that I literally said last week that I would never talk about the NBA. But here we are talking about the NBA in what will likely be the craziest trade of 2025. I woke up at nearly 2 a.m. on Saturday to the Luka news, and it took me about 15 minutes to come up with this with sleep brain. I mean, if we're thinking in terms of baseball, this is like trading Giancarlo Stanton for Vlad Jr., trading a declining asset for one that might have too much of an asset. A future Hall of Famer in Stanton who can still have his moments, but is often injured and obviously past his prime. For a potential Hall of Famer that can have an impact in the lineup for years to come, as long as he doesn't get too fat. If the most apt comparison isn't Vlad Jr., then it is Bobby Witt Jr. I was just going with the Vlad comparison because of the reported weight issues that Luka allegedly has. But in terms of football, this is like Elliott Wolf trading Drake May for Cooper Kupp, and we'll get into that later. Hearing myself say that, that hurt to the core, and I would be so confused and upset if that were to happen. So I guess by doing this, Dallas also fucked him out of $117 million because he can't sign a Supermax extension with the Lakers. Add in, he now goes from Texas to California, so that also fucks him even more on the income tax. But let's learn what a Supermax contract is together. I have no idea what it is, and I thought it would be fun to go over it here. This is all from VillanovaLawReview.com, so this is official as fuck. Supermax is the colloquial term for the designated veteran player extension, a provision introduced in the 2017 collective bargaining agreement between the NBA and NBPA, designed to provide teams with a tactic to retain top talent by offering their stars more money than other teams in the league. The Supermax allows a team to re-sign a player with 8 or 9 years of service with that team for a maximum of 5 years for an amount up to 35% of the salary cap. Holy shit. Subject to an 8% annual escalation. That's crazy. 35% of the salary cap. Holy shit. I don't know what that would be in NFL terms, but that would be way too much for one player to be making. Additional Supermax eligibility conditions require that the player must have been named to the All-NBA first, second, or third team, Defensive Player of the Year in the preceding season or in 2 seasons during the preceding 3 seasons, or NBA MVP during the 3 preceding seasons. So I guess if you come out of nowhere in years 6, 7, and 8 of being on one team and win the MVP 3 years straight, you can sign the Supermax extension without any of the other requirements. Is that what I'm reading? Is that right? Chat, is that right? One of the times I wish we had a live chat. Tenure with a team is straightforward, but the additional selection criteria is alarmingly subjective relative to its power to trigger Supermax eligibility. Only a few players enter the Defensive Player of the Year and MVP award discussions each year, so the selections are less controversial. On the other hand, the 3 All-NBA teams, each made up of 2 guards, 2 forwards, and 1 center, potentially provide an opportunity for 15 different players to trigger their Supermax eligibility depending on individual circumstances. Surprisingly, postseason accolades are determined by a group of 100 reporters and broadcasters covering the NBA. What the hell? Leaving room for personal preferences and judgment. So this is like even more fucked than baseball. The media determines your pay? Wait, what? That's insane. Equally concerning is the position-specific composition of the all-NBA teams, which can cause confusing outcomes when, as was the case this year with, this is about Jaylen Brown, I think, the league's top 2 players are both centers, resulting in the NBA MVP runner-up receiving all NBA second-team accolades. What? The NBA recently made changes to the selection process by removing position designations from the all-NBA teams and requiring a player to appear in 65 regular season games in order to receive postseason awards. A lot of people are complaining about that. So, 35% of the salary cap is a Supermax extension. No wonder it goes up every year. That's actually insane. 8% annual escalations? Holy fuck. These players are making bank. Holy shit. That is wild that the media can have a potential say in your pay at the end of the day. That's crazy. But Luka obviously qualified for it no matter what. All right, so the worst part about all of this is that the Mavs GM, Nico Harrison, told no one that he was doing this.
And I'd like to give Rob Pelinka a lot of credit. You know, trades, you guys have been around here, trades don't happen at the smallest level without stuff getting out. And Rob and I were able to have, really intense conversations over the course of 3 or 4 weeks that started out as a coffee that, was more, hey, would you ever, I don't know, would I? Let me think of, and then it built upon that. And, we kept it between us. We had to keep it tight. J Kidd didn't know about it. But J Kidd and I are aligned, and we talk about archetypes, and we talk about the culture that we want to create. So I know the type of players that he likes without actually talking to him. Hey, would you like... so I know that, and J Kidd coached them when they won a championship. So I think when you're aligned with your coach like that, I know the type of players that he likes, and so I felt good about it making sense to where we're trying to go.
None of the Lakers knew, including LeBron, which is crazy in itself. Jason Kidd didn't know. And Mark Cuban knew nothing about this trade before it happened. Well, I guess Jason Kidd kind of knew, because it says here from SportsCenter, Jason Kidd frequently expressed concerns publicly and directly with Doncic about his conditioning, weight fluctuations, and constant arguing with officials. Who doesn't argue with the officials in the NBA? What kind of an excuse is that? If Doncic wasn't going to change his ways, the Mavericks figured they would prod him by making changes around him. In August 2023, the team fired former Director of Player Health and Performance Casey Smith, who has since been hired by Jalen Brunson's New York Knicks. After last season, the Mavs fired strength coach Jeremy Holsopple and manual therapist Casey Spangler. All three had been with the team since before Doncic was drafted and had strong relationships with him. They get rid of everybody I like, Doncic griped in recent months, one source said. The plan backfired. Yeah, that's a good way to motivate your star player to get healthy, by firing everybody on the staff that he liked. How about the front office working with those same coaches and trainers to actually help Luka instead of getting rid of them and bringing in someone else? So not only did they fire all the good coaches and trainers, but they got rid of their best player. This sounds like a Bob Nutting move to maximize profit while pissing off your fan base to no end. And this is from Nico Harrison's own Wikipedia. During his work at Nike, he botched a 2013 presentation to Stephen Curry, where, according to Harrison, he may have called him Seth. And the presentation used was made for Kevin Durant. This, along with not offering Curry a signature shoe, caused the superstar to switch from Nike and sign with Under Armour. I'd say this is an immediately fireable offense. This is not a wait and see what happens kind of trade. This is a find someone else to run your organization this second kind of trade. What else would this idiot be willing to do? It doesn't seem like draft picks matter in the NBA, but trading your 25-year-old star player does. Luka is one of 5 active players that have been selected to the All-NBA team the past 5 seasons. The others are Giannis at 30, James Harden at 35, Kevin Durant at 36, and LeBron at 40. This is mind-numbingly stupid. And if he is in bad shape, you don't think this will motivate him to be in the best shape of his life? He's not going to keel over if he finishes a beer. I mean, this is a world-class athlete we're talking about here, not some bum off the couch. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens with his conditioning. If he does not get in the best shape of his life, if this doesn't motivate him, then nothing will, and the trade may have been a good trade. But there's no way. There's no way that's not going to happen. On the Lakers part, they already said that they wouldn't trade LeBron, but it would have been the funniest move ever to trade LeBron for Jimmy Butler and send LeBron back to South Beach. Apparently, the Heat tried to trade Jimmy Butler to Golden State, but he wouldn't have signed an extension there, so he's just still suspended. If you're so unhappy every single damn place you play, just retire and play in your backyard. The trade was so bad that it caused Dennis Schrader to compare the trade deadline to modern day slavery. It's like modern slavery. It's modern slavery at the end of the day. Everybody can decide where you're going, even if you have a contract. Yeah, of course. I can't even do it. I'm falling apart. Yeah, we make a lot of money and we can feed our families. But at the end of the day, if they say, you're not coming to work tomorrow, you're going over there, they can decide that. They got to change that a little bit. This must have been Donald Sterling's favorite time of the year, according to Schrader. He's actually still alive at 90 years old. I just looked that up today. If this, slavery comparisons, is the catalyst for us to start bringing up the NBA more, then so be it. All right, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Okay, speaking of the Blue Jays with that Vlad Jr. comparison, I think they're spending money just to spend money at this point. They signed Max Scherzer to a 1-year, $15.5 million deal. I wonder what the over-under on innings he'll pitch this year is. I'll give him 50, which, hey, with how many innings he'll pitch in each one of them, that might actually be like 8 to 10 starts. He's not exactly one of those guys that where it's good to just have him around if he's not playing. He seems like a dick almost. There's also a no trade clause in this contract for Max Scherzer, so I really don't know what the Blue Jays are doing. They can't get anything back in return for him at the trade deadline. All right, MLB's best umpire, Pat Hoberg, was fired on Monday after it was found out that he was sharing a betting account with his professional poker friend that bet on baseball. And there is no evidence that he himself bet on games, but this is just stupid. If you are involved in the sport in any way, shape, or form, you should not have a betting app installed on your phone. Even if it isn't for sports betting, like for him personally, he should have been smarter than that, and I agree with firing him for it, even if he was the best at his job. Take my job, for example. I can really only get fired if I steal or get someone killed, even if I'm technically bad at my job, which I'm not. He could really only get fired if he bet or got someone killed, even if he was technically bad at his job, which he wasn't. All right, the first gameplay trailer for MLB The Show 25 dropped today. I thought it would be cool to go over a live reaction of it. All right, let's do this thing. Oh yeah, college is confirmed. Let's go. Okay. I swear to God, if this drum music is going to be in the game like College Football 25 in the background of every single menu, I don't want it.
Even a game as timeless as baseball must evolve. From the early years of high school to the thrill of college baseball.
All right, colleges, let's go. Hell yeah.
To the promise of the minors. Only you can control your journey's evolution.
Path to 99 progression. Are we just not gonna... Please, just let me put points into whatever attribute I want. If I want to have a 99 speed pitcher, let me do it.
Well, that swing changes things.
Some journeys require precision.
Wait, what? First person? Wait, what?
Some journeys will take you to the top.
That's a base hit.
Some journeys are strategic. Some are more difficult than others. But every detail along the road matters.
Now he turns and heads for second.
Ooh, swim moves.
Nice. And he brought it back.
It's a whole new ballgame. How will your journey evolve?
Pre-order now. All right. What What the fuck is that? Hold up. New mode in Diamond Dynasty. Diamond Quest? What is this? Are they getting rid of Conquest? Weekend Classics. What is current league? Bronze 1, current division, spring training. Wait, are they gonna have like a ranked online? Oh. Ooh. Okay. What's that? Manny Ramirez, I think. Well, who's the pitcher? Is that? I think it might be Roger Clemens. They introduced some steroid players last year. We're getting more this year. Let's go, baby. It's only a matter of time before we get Barry Bonds. All right. Pre-order available now. Let's go. March 18th. All right, now we're back. Sorry if that reaction was a little bit quiet. For some reason, when I screen recorded, it tanked my recording level. We didn't have anything else for baseball anyway. Let's move on to some college football. Bill Belichick. I know it's weird talking about Belichick in college football now. Belichick is coming out with a book in May, so there's one more thing to add to the list of things to do in the offseason from football. The name of the book is The Art of Winning. Clear reference to his favorite book, The Art of War. He posted a sloppy URL of the pre-order link on his Instagram story. The most Belichick thing ever. The only other thing for college football this weekend was the Senior Bowl. Really, the only notes I made, Dylan Gabriel's helmet was sick, and Ollie Gordon is huge and can throw touchdowns as well. Not really too much to glean from this if you weren't watching a specific player, which I really wasn't. It was kind of cool to see Jackson Dart ball out, though. We also learned that his brother's name is Diesel Dart, and Lane Kiffin already gave him an offer just to be closer to their mom. All right, on to the NFL. I forgot to put in Liam Cohen saying Duval.
Jacksonville, the community. Duval.
All right, another shocker for coaching news. The Raiders are hiring Chip Kelly as their offensive coordinator. This is a huge loss for Ohio State, but it is a huge get for the Raiders. I didn't even realize this until today. Tom Brady fucked over Ohio State one more time. At $6.5 million, Chip Kelly will be the highest paid assistant coach in the NFL. All right, the Texans landed Nick Caley after firing Bobby Slowick, and Nick Caley was actually a very popular name going around for offensive coordinator jobs. He was actually on the Patriots short list. All right, some more trade news. Myles Garrett saw that Luka trade and said, "Get me the fuck out of Cleveland. Anything is possible." He wants to go to a contender, so hopefully the Browns will work with him on doing that. But in a twist, the Rams informed Cooper Kupp that they'll be trading him. Cooper Kupp did not request a trade. You better be ready to learn McDaniel's ease, buddy. Welcome to New England, Cooper Kupp. He also wants to be traded to a contender, so I imagine that the Rams will likely accommodate that request. Big uh-oh news. Uh-oh. Justin Tucker is your new Deshaun Watson, folks. He got the yips because all this stuff was on his mind earlier in the season. He knew this was coming out. All right, so this is from the Baltimore Banner. Ravens kicker Justin Tucker engaged in inappropriate behavior at 4 high-end spas and wellness centers in the Baltimore region, according to 6 massage therapists, including exposing his genitals, brushing 2 of them with his exposed penis, and leaving what they believe to be ejaculate on the massage table after 3 of his treatments. What? Several therapists said Tucker's behavior was so egregious that they ended his sessions early or refused to work on him again. And at 2 spas, management said they banned him from returning. So yeah, all of those accusers have tweets out about him, and it's pretty damning. His response to this is 100% AI generated as well. The allegations in the Baltimore Banner article about me are unequivocally false. Throughout my career as a professional athlete, I have always sought to conduct myself with the utmost professionalism. I have never before been accused of misconduct of any kind, and I've never been accused of acting inappropriately in front of a massage therapist, or during a massage therapy session, or during other blah, 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 blah. You don't break out the vocabulary unless you're guilty. But, I mean, that could just be his personality because he's an opera singer, and he has that kind of air about him that he might actually write like this. Masseuses told Justin to tuck it away, and Deshaun was bold enough with it for them to say, "What, son?" The NFL is going to have masseuses coming forward like little boys in the Catholic Church. But yeah, who else but the Saints would cover up all of this bullshit with the church? Oh my God. How are they so on brand? They quite literally help priests clear their names. Ooh, this is bad. All right, so from this ESPN article, Saints executives were so involved in the church's damage control that a team spokesman briefed his boss on a 2018 call with the city's top prosecutor hours before the church released a list of clergymen accused of abuse. The call, the spokesman said, allowed us to take certain people off the list. What? What? Team officials were among the first people outside the church to view that list, a carefully curated yet undercounted roster of suspected pedophiles. The disclosure of those names invited civil claims against the church and drew attention from federal and state law enforcement. The team's president, Dana Lasha, drafted more than a dozen questions that Archbishop Gregory Amond should be prepared to answer as he faced reporters. Holy shit. The Saints senior vice president of communications, Greg Bensel, provided fly-on-the-wall updates to Lasha about local media interviews, suggesting church and team leaders were all on the same team. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is horrible. We mentioned Donald Sterling earlier, and he was forced to sell by Adam Silver when those messages came out, when those audio recordings came out of him saying all that stuff. Goodell should force the Saints owner to sell after this. This is insane. Clean house and get rid of everyone. What are we doing? What? People thought that Dan Snyder was bad. What are the Saints doing down there? What the hell? All right, let's go over the Pro Bowl. I have nothing else to say about that. Holy shit. I mean, what? Just seriously, just get rid of everyone. Sell the team, hire brand new people. That's horrible. Okay, so I'm gonna switch up to go straight to the Pro Bowl. Oh my God. All right, we'll go over the games on Thursday first. But like I said last week, we found out at the last minute that Drake May was making his way to the Pro Bowl. First mini game up, it was his time to shine, baby. Come on, Drake May. Passing the test. This was the accuracy test where they have to throw the football at the different targets. God, the sound of that ball hitting the boards was so satisfying. I thought they were throwing directly into the crowd, but it wasn't until later when I realized that there was netting. Those balls were coming at the fans like trucks. I guess netting is all they need to put up on the streets in the French Quarters next week. So the targets do reset after you hit all of them, and Goff found that out first as he put up 44 points. Then it was Drake May's turn. Didn't clear the board, didn't hit the 5. He was just letting them sail. He had the arm strength, but the accuracy was just out the window. That was bad. And before they threw, to get extra time, they had teammates answer trivia questions to get them extra time. And the NFC QBs were feeding them answers. They were cheating. Russell Wilson was up last. And even Russell Wilson hit all of them. Fuck. NFC took this one to go up 3-0. The next up was satisfying catch. This one they need to figure out. This one is so clunkily thrown together. This is supposed to be like the dunk contest for the wide receivers, but it's some weird obstacle course relay. They only got one shot at the spectacular catch, and no one got it, which was the whole point of doing the event. Stingley definitely cost the AFC there with his hamburger helper gloves on. And no wonder he's a cornerback. He cannot catch the ball for shit. The NFC took less time and went up 6-0. Next up was the big spike, and I like this event. It's actually pretty similar to the punching bag that goes viral online every once in a while for people flying into it, doing a flying headbutt. And you could tell Kittle was so high. Oh my God. But there seems to be an accuracy issue for the most part. They kind of need to make the pad bigger, I think. Quinnen Williams damn near broke that thing. Holy shit. Payne said to pretend that the pad was like Eli's face. And then Dexter Lawrence was off by 3. Sexy Dexy couldn't do it. The AFC finally took a mini game, and they were down 6-3. Next up was Helmet Harmony, which was kind of like the newlywed game. I can't remember if they did this last year or not. I should have went back and checked. But it's a great concept. I think if they did a full half hour of this, or even an hour like the Madden game, it would have been amazing. The NFC won again and was up 9-3, but I did like Terry Crew's comment, you guys are in Green Bay, ain't nothing else to do besides know each other. Then we had a relay race, like an actual relay race where the football was the baton, and they were just going 40-yard dashes back and forth. But man, I just wanted a race with clean handoffs. I think if they just get rid of the ball and opt to go for hitting the hand instead, this would be really fun. Even the events come down to the turnover battle. The NFC won it with only one fumble to the AFC's 2 fumbled handoffs. Each race was 1 point, so it was 4-11. All right, next up was dodgeball, and they had Baker on, and he said, I'm more of an average Joe's guy, but if I get in there, I'll go Purple Cobra real quick. And I felt him on that. But dodgeball, this is always so chaotic. It is so hard to follow who's out and who isn't. It wasn't hard to see that Brian Branch got out, though, after he got smacked in the balls. AFC won game 1, NFC won game 2, both for 3 points. Total stood at 14-7 NFC after all the games on Thursday. All right, now on to Sunday, and I like how they broke this up, where they were doing a quarter of football and then a mini game in between. It was a really good way to break up the monotony of it. I don't know if I would have watched straight 4 quarters of flag football. In this quarter, Neighbors dove for the touchdown, and he got it, but they marked him short, and Jason Kelsey said, we got a Josh Allen. And everyone died on that. It was so good. And then Neighbors had everyone flipping into the foam pit all day long after he was the first one to do it after the touchdown. NFC went up 27-13 after the first quarter. Okay, perfect punt. Please bring this back next year. This was amazing. The NFC tied it on the last punt in regulation, but then Logan Cook tied it 3-3 in overtime, on to double overtime. Each one missed the first one, on to triple overtime. Both missed again, on to quadruple overtime. This was starting to sound a lot like the Georgia Tech-Georgia game, but Logan Cook made it, and Jack Fox bounced it off the back of the last bucket. This was the best event. 4 overtimes for the AFC to take the perfect punt. They were still down 16-27. All right, in the second quarter here, I was fully expecting it to be the same order as the accuracy test. But Russell Wilson came out second. I was fully prepared for Drake May. But then that meant a full half of Drake May. Let's go. We'll see about that. Darnold came into the game too here in the second quarter, and he was still seeing ghosts. He threw an interception straight to Marlon Humphrey after he bounced it around a little bit, but still seeing ghosts in flag football. That's insane. The AFC went down big in this quarter, 39-22, but on the last play, the last little scramble was hilarious. Linderbaum, do something! I don't think he can. The center can snap the ball only. He can't do anything else. He just sits there kneeling. And when all the players came towards him, he just had to sit there. Whatever happened, happened. Okay, then it cut to the Madden head-to-head in between quarters here. And I was fully expecting it to be edited, but not as much as it was. Holy shit. It was Brian Thomas Jr. and Derwin James versus Justin Jefferson and Micah Parsons. At the time, I said, I wonder if you can watch this game online somewhere because I would love to watch the whole thing. And oh shit, what do you know? There was a whole 50-minute version up on YouTube already. Let's go. This was the 5th year straight that they've done this? What? The NFC is undefeated, and I haven't watched the full stream at all before this. This was Micah's 4th year in a row. This would have been Justin Jefferson's 4th year in a row, but he wasn't there last year. This is Derwin James' 2nd time playing Micah Parsons, but Brian Thomas Jr.'s obviously 1st time. All right, it was wide receiver versus wide receiver in the first half. BTJ versus JJ. And Micah actually knows how to play and is complaining about the rosters being uneven. He would not shut up about it the whole time, and he had a legit point. I thought Brian Thomas Jr. was getting a little bit cocky trying to fit it in tight windows, and he got the interception to start the game. But then Justin Jefferson took forever, had a delay of game, and threw a pick 6 on a screen. They blocked the extra point to go up 6-0. Man, BTJ is quiet, but Derwin Germs. But Derwin James was in his ear telling him to talk that shit. Derwin Germs. So in between quarters, they had actual not influencers, but just people that play Madden online show up, and they had them tackle it was a tackle dummy, but it just looked like a hit stick. And the harder you hit it, the angle at which you hit it, and the timing all mattered. So the first guy said, hey, Micah, this is how you tackle, and got 96 points. That's when we found out that the max score is 1,000, and he did terribly. QBJ, I've heard of QBJ before. He's done some MLB The Show content. He's short, but he was shot out of a damn cannon. He got 996 out of 1,000 total points. This didn't add points to the game. It was just for which team gets like signed footballs in a copy of the game. To start the second quarter, holy shit, BTJ stopped JJ at the goal line 4 times for the turnover on downs to start the quarter. I have never seen a stop like that in Madden before. Derwin was coaching the shit out of BTJ, and he was listening well. And BTJ with the bomb to Zay Flowers, putting him up 13-0. This was hype. I really enjoyed watching this Madden game. Man, that guy standing up in the background had to sit down. No one else was standing up. And when he pretended to be a coach, it came off a little racist.
We coach them good. The players ain't run the damn play right.
Okay, it's the coach's fault.
No, it's the players' fault. Okay, we coach them right. All right?
Make sure everybody gets experience.
I go out there and I do my job. They got to do theirs.
And is Derwin James like great at the game or something? He told BTJ to put Myles Garrett in coverage, and he got the interception. What the hell? Micah Parsons was so fed up with the roster.
You know, how many X factors they got? Come on, bro. How is everyone an X factor?
You know him, bro.
Did y'all notice this? Everyone's an X factor.
It's the Pro Bowl, bro. Everybody on y'all team X factor.
No, they not. We got.
Bro, it's the Pro Bowl.
We got bronze out here.
That's messed up, bro.
But really, how does Justin Jefferson not have an X factor in the game? That's kind of wild. Justin Jefferson threw it to himself actually at the end of the half, and he didn't catch it, and he was like, man, I need to talk to someone. They turned it over on downs with enough time for BTJ to kick a field goal. The AFC was up 16-0 at halftime. And holy shit, that guy in the NFC got a perfect 1,000 out of 1,000 on the second hit stick challenge. I don't know what they were doing giving the AFC all the skinny white guys. All right, then it was Derwin versus Micah in the second half. Let's go. And what does Micah do the whole third quarter? Literally the whole third quarter. He just runs the ball. I think he might have thrown one pass the whole time, and it was incomplete. The NFC won the hit stick thingy in between each quarter here. So Micah got the ball back to start the fourth quarter because he didn't finish his one drive in the third quarter. He decided to take the field goal down 16-0 with 3.5 minutes left in the game instead of going for it. So, I mean, it was game over at that point. I think it was on like the next play or something. Derwin threaded a touchdown to Chase for the dagger, but he threw a pick trying to show off, and they returned the extra point to make it 22-5. And Derwin kept calling timeouts because Micah wouldn't stop running the ball. He was like, since you're running the ball, I'm just going to call timeouts every time. He was like, I want more time to score more points. But Micah finally completed 3 passes in a row to make it 22-13. This was fucking funny. I'll be sure to watch this again next year. I can't believe this was my first time even realizing that they did this and posted it. Derwin gave up the MVP to BTJ. What a great dude. But yeah, the AFC won the how much of a Madden game can we edit out portion of the broadcast. All right, and on the obstacle course, I do like watching this, but they only ran it once this year. The AFC is so bad at these mini games. The NFC took this one, and they were up 25-42 at this point. No coming back from that, right? All right, third quarter, Drake May in. Let's go. What do you know? First play, pick 6. God damn it. 48-25. But you could tell that Drake May would love to have a Brian Thomas Jr. on his team. That was his favorite target all day. But he rainbowed that ball to Jamar Chase, and it was beautiful. Oh. It was 48-31 after that. And then our turnover on downs from the NFC. What? Touchdown to BTJ. Let's go. Good for 2. 39-48. Drake May. Let's go. But then Baker immediately came in for the NFC, and they got things going with a Kittle lateral to Mike Evans, and then a Kittle touchdown in 10 seconds. It was 55-39 after 3 quarters. And this was Baker's home turf, basically, so yeah, he got a pop from the crowd. All right, tug of war. Surprise, surprise. The NFC won round 1 and 2. Round 1 was way too easy. Round 2 was a little bit better of a fight, but the NFC just dominates these games. And start of the fourth quarter, what does Drake May do? Pick 6 first play. 64-39. And they put Russ back in. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Come on. Oh, man. That was a great catch by BTJ and a great throw to Nico Collins. The AFC was down 64-45. And this is what I want to see more of in flag football. Neighbors caught that ball in between his legs and scored another touchdown for them to go up 70-45 2 plays later on another great catch. So on that touchdown catch, the ball rolled out, but he was tackled. You can't tackle a player. So he obviously made it across the goal line with possession before it came down and hit the ground. The ball isn't supposed to touch the ground at all in flag football. There aren't any fumbles. But then on the next drive, Russ home run to Jamar Chase. But Jamar Chase, showing off that athleticism, does a little gritty, does a complete backflip. Let's go. All right, but then a touchdown from McBride put the NFC up 76-51. And Jusic almost puts a cleat in Justin Jefferson's mouth on his flip into the foam pit. Jason Kelsey is right. That might be the last time that we saw that today, and it was. But this is what we needed on the next drive. A little bit more creativity. Lateral to Jamar, lateral back to Russ, throw to Mixon, made it 76-57. I don't really know what happened in the last 2 minutes, but it was entertaining. Baker was put at center, and JSN was at quarterback, and he ended up throwing a pick six, and now he only needed one more to catch up with Drake May. On the extra point, Gibbs picked it, and as he was running back, half of the AFC sideline came onto the field to try and stop him. It was 76-63 AFC, and that would be the final score. That was a fun game overall. I really did enjoy watching it. But Robert Turpin should have been the MVP. He was rushing every single down, and it was working. He got Russ almost every time. But the MVP was Goff, since he threw 3 touchdowns and demolished the target passing minigame. Pro Bowl. You did a good job this year. I think you could do a little bit better job with the mini games, making them a little bit more. I don't even know what you would do to force the NFC to stop winning so much. But yeah, that was fun. I did enjoy watching that. I'm glad I did. I mean, overall, if you add up all the time, it was an hour and a half on Thursday, 3 hours for the game on Sunday, and then an extra hour of Madden on top of that. It's 5.5 hours of football that I watched this weekend. I thought about this during the Pro Bowl. If Peyton wins, the Eagles will win the Super Bowl. If Eli wins 3 straight, then Mahomes will win 3 straight because they don't want Eli Manning to be the only quarterback to win 3 straight anything in the postseason. I just have a weird feeling about the Pro Bowl being a parallel to the Super Bowl. In some way, it doesn't have to be in whoever wins. If the final score is the parallel and it ends up 76-63, that would be awesome. But remember, I am sticking with the Eagles 38-34 for RJ and the Hoagies. He's not dead. He's just living a normal life. Okay, there is nothing else to go over this week. This is our Christmas Eve. All I'm asking for is a good game. May the better team win, and may the refs not play a part in this game whatsoever. Please, I beg of you. Alrighty, everybody. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hoagies and Pierogis is available on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok where we post clips throughout the week. And we'll leave you with this. Munch.
Live from Central Pennsylvania with your host, Ian DiCarlo, this is Hoagies and Pierogis.
The Ski Stash! The Ski Stash!
Welcome to the Big Ten.
Beijers go with Drake May. Let's go!